see it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore.
What? How?
You worked there! How do you not know what the plates have on them?
You can't fool with me with your little bluffs, boy. I got you again, but let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean.
Yes! Yes!
The beefsteak.
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
Plate? Ah!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
Be careful! We're trying to confuse you with logic again!
No, logic.
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival.
Ah.
This guy is bad at every job. Isn't he? This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ryunosuke, you're genius. You're spot on.
Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. Objection!
But even if that is the case, you can't know if that happened in the day in question or not. Could have been the day before or the day before that. Most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Achi, the chances of that are extremely slim.
Thanks.
Why?
The outlines of the burn are clearly disconcertable. What's that?
Discernible?
Discernible.
Discernible. Okay, there you go. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
What?
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure.
Can you be more specific, Inspector?
Well, let's see. If the plate was around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It was inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard of anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you have one person under heavy painkillers.
But you're a detective, not a waiter.
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that.
And yet Inspector Hosonaga never...
Tripadoo?
Sorry about that. And yet, has Professor Inspector Hosanaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before it?
That's right. The strange thing is, on that day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either.
What are you suggesting?
Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on a plate for anything like 3 seconds that day,
They would have been beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
and the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antique dealer, all of us, without any question, would have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Achi?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream?
I almost don't believe it, Ryunosuke. Do you think...
Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I started to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. What?
I think he was poisoned. And she took the glass because there was poison in that glass.
There's no one explanation I can think of to make sense of this imperative possibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead?
He was either asleep or already dead.
Because he can't just hadn't noticed
think
it.
He must have been drugged.
No man can remain silent while his wrist was burning out a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. It's clearly impossible. Apart from one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting...
Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead. Already?
Dead?
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
Madness!
Order, please. I'll have a sundae. Counsel, please explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right, that's absolutely right, Your Excellency.
That would also explain why she felt the need to take one of the glasses if it contained traces of poison.
Yep.
This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student. Well, clearly, he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ashi, it's you who has no grasp of the facts.
Beg your pardon.
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while in the restaurant, the whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't appreciate I just didn't anticipate this kind of twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett. You will have to commit your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency,
Your Excellency doesn't listen to us poppers.
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy. But rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency. She's like, what? No, I thought you'd all be simpletons. Why are you not just fawning over me?
She's gonna talk.
What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Yep, she just decided to just talk normally now.
oh my gosh.
Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Ah, Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country, after all.
But then why even speaking to Inspector until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Jeez.
It seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level.
Oh, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
Why did you bother learning it and coming over here?
Oh no.
I see. In that case, Mr. I will now ask you to testify in your own words.
No. I don't like doing this.
How about the events leading up to the death of the victim? You will do it. I said that. Go straight to Dale then. So we're finally going to hear our own words on the matter.
Yes, you had to work up to this privilege. Don't you feel honored?
Things are getting interesting, Ryanosuke.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death beside the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. And of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Just insulting the entire country. Very beautiful.
That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you for belittling my country and our court system.
I feel like this. She came over here to purposely make the treaty fall out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Easy does it. I hope that is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh. Forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
Not at all. Not at all.